Good morning students. Now today we are going to start our next topic, which is activity 8.4, can you blow and lift. Hold a strip of paper 20 cm long and 3 cm wide between your thumb and forefinger as shown here in figure 8.5. Now blow over the paper. Lift it up. Bujo thinks that the strip will bend down. What do you think what will happen to the paper? Let us try to understand the observations in activities 8.2, 8.3 and 8.4. Okay, yesterday we have done 8.2 and 8.3. So according to that we'll analyze it. Okay, what were the observations along the lines you thought? Do you get the feeling that the increased wind speed is accompanied by a reduced air pressure? Yes, it is accompanied by a reduced air pressure. When we blow into the mouth of the bottle, the air near the mouth has higher speed. This decreases the pressure there. The air pressure inside the bottle is higher than near the mouth. The air inside the bottle pushes the ball out. Now, here in activity 8.3, you saw that when you blew between the balloons, they move towards each other. How could this happen? This could happen if the pressure of air between the balloons were somehow reduced. The pressure outside the balloons would then push them towards each other. We see that increased wind speed is indeed accompanied by a reduced air pressure. Can you imagine what would happen if a high-speed winds blew over the roofs of buildings? If the roofs were weak, they could be lifted and blown away. If you have any such experience, share it with your friends. Let us try to understand how winds are produced, how they bring rain, and how can they be destructive to us. Now you have seen winds are very much destructive. They can destruct so many things through storms and cyclones. Okay, it is in its destructive form. Okay, you already know that when air moves, it is called wind. Air moves from the region of the pressure where the air pressure is high to the region where the pressure is low. The greater the difference in the pressure, the faster the air moves. But how are pressure differences created in nature? Is the difference in temperature involved? The following activities will help you to understand this. Air expands on heating. Now in activity 8.5, it will explain us how air expands on heating. Take a boiling tube, stretch a balloon tightly over the neck of the tube. You can use a tape to make it tight. Pour some hot water in a beaker, insert the boiling tube with the balloon in the hot water. Observe for 2-3 minutes for any change in the shape of the balloon. Take the tube out, let it cool down to the room temperature. Take some ice cold water in another beaker and place the tube with the balloon in cold water for 2 to 3 minutes. Observe the change in the shape of the balloon. Think and try to answer this question. What makes the balloon inflated when the boiling tube is placed in hot water? Why is the same balloon deflated when the tube is kept in cold water? Can we infer from the first observation that air expands on heating? Can you now state what happens to the air in the boiling tube when it cools down? The next activity is very interesting. This will make you understand more about hot air. Take 2 paper bags or empty paper cups or the same size, having the 2 bags, hang the 2 bags in the inverted position. Here in figure 8.7 it was showing us, okay, the inverted position on the 2 ends of the metal or wooden stick. Tie a piece of thread in the middle of the stick. Hold the stick by the thread as shown in figure 8.7. As in a balance. Put a burning candle below one of the bags as shown in the figure. Observe what happens. Why is the balance of the bags disturbed? Does this activity indicate that warm air rises up? As the warm air rises up, it pushes the bag above the candle. Does the disturbance of the balance suggest that the warm air is lighter than the cold air? Can you now explain why smoke always rises up? Also, it is important to remember that on heating, the air expands and occupies more space. When the same thing occupies more space, it becomes lighter. The warm air is therefore lighter than the cold air. That is the reason that the smoke goes up. In nature, there are several situations when warm air rises at a place. The air pressure at that place is lowered. The cold air from the surrounding areas rushes in to fill its place. This sets up convection in air, as you learnt in chapter 4. That's all for today. We'll continue with our next topic tomorrow. Thank you and have a nice day. Good morning, students.